In the last video, we talked about, why do people not actively manage their 401k? Why don't they look at their investments and the fear associated with that? So if you haven't seen that video, you should go check it out. Yes, you should go check it out. In this episode, I want to talk about why you should learn about not just the stock market, but yes, the stock market, but how money works in general. I want you to think about this concept of, let me tell you a story. There was a story that once went that people who make over $1 million, there's certain investments. So there was a friend who went to another friend who was making $1 million. He says, hey, how do I get involved with some of the investments and things that you guys are in? And he said to his friend, he said, we would love to have you in on the investments that we're in on, but the problem is it's illegal to let you invest with us. And so he was kind of confused. He was like, what? It's illegal for me to invest with you? Like, why? He's like, yeah, in fact, the government says it's illegal because you're not a sophisticated investor. Meaning, if you don't understand what we do, and you're not qualified by having earned at least $1 million yourself, it's illegal for us to bring you in on these investments because you're unqualified, you're uneducated, you can't even participate, and we don't have the time to explain it to you. And I'm kind of giving you the abbreviated version of the story, but it's kind of true. There are some investments that if you don't make a certain amount of money, the government, like hedge funds, different things like that, the government says you have to have a net worth of so many millions to even participate with these guys in some of these advanced trades, strategies, investments, hedges, stuff like that. So why should you learn about the market, investing, how money works? Well, that lack of knowledge keeps you out of the game. But I want you to think about it like this. The less you know about money, the stock market, finances, credit cards, interest rates, the less that you know about it, the less, how do I want to say this? I want to make sure I drive it home. The less you know, then you can't be that educated at picking a good financial advisor. So even if you want to turn your trading, your investment, your finances over to somebody else, if you know a little bit about it, then you can talk intelligently with the person you're turning your finances over to and let them know what you're looking to do, but you're just not looking to do it yourself. And so you can, I think, easily pick up on if they're a con artist, if they're a scammer, if they're just pulling one over on you, or you can just pick up on how sophisticated they are. Because most of the times when you talk to different financial planners, stuff like that, and I'm neither. I'm not a financial planner. I don't want to manage your money. I have no interest. But I like to teach you how it works so you can go pick a better financial planner if that's what you choose to do. I prefer you manage it yourself. But what I'm getting at is most financial planners, if you ever go speak to them, go call one up right now. If you just pick up the phone after watching this video, go call some financial institution, ask them a couple questions. They normally talk in big words that go over your head. They make you feel little and stupid. And then they say stuff like, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Just come on in and see us, right? Or just bring all your paperwork, your documents. We'll put you in the best one. That happened to me once, never again. I'm not even going to name the bank, but if you look at some of my older YouTube videos, I talk about that. I went in with $2,000, and by the time she asked me 3 questions. Maybe it was 2. She was like, how old are you? She was like, what are you investing for? I'm like, I want to be rich. She was like, so you want aggressive, right? I'm like, I guess so. Cool. Sign here. You're all set. It's probably the easiest commissionable sale she ever made. I came back a couple years later. It went from $2,000 down to $700. I said, give me my $700 back. I could have lost $1,300 myself. I spent $200 and I took that $500. If you ever heard my story about how I took $500 and got in the stock market, that was how I came up with my first $500. But the point was, I didn't know what questions to ask her because I had never studied the game, the industry. So I couldn't pick a better advisor. So she just sold me what she sold me. She didn't have to be sophisticated because I wasn't sophisticated. She didn't have to ask me more than, how old are you? Why do you want to invest? And so you want aggressive, right? She didn't have to ask me anything more than that because I wouldn't have understood it anyway. So you see what I'm saying? Because you're not educated, you can't even ask educated questions. And they don't even have to give you the information because you wouldn't understand it anyway. Wow. So I don't even know how I want to end this episode. Go learn something today. That's how I'm going to end this one. Go learn something. If you don't know how this game works, go learn something. Go watch some free YouTube videos. Go to thebrownreport.com. Sign up for my stuff. If you don't want to sign up for my stuff, find somebody you trust, somebody you like, somebody who explains it in a way that you understand it, because you might not resonate with me. You might be like, who is this weird guy driving in his car talking about this stuff? That's fine. Somebody resonates with me. If it's not you, no problem. But I'm in this saying, go find somebody to learn from. Go up your financial intelligence and learn how this stuff works, even if you go turn it over to somebody else. And I want to share a little story about when I bought my first stock market education course. So I had made over 6 figures in the market with no formal training or education. And then a couple years later, I had lost everything.